Team Ray.
And we are Team Reese Travels.
Team Reese Travels, that's who we are.
Reese. And today, look, it is Travel Tip Tuesday.
Ooh.
Today we're going to be talking about how to save money when cruising with kids. Right.
That sounds good to me.
Right. Shout out to LaQuinta for recommending this topic.
Absolutely.
And let's get into it. Y'all, we're going to walk through every step of booking the cruise and going on the cruise and how you can save money in each one of those steps. These tips have saved us and our clients thousands of dollars when booking their cruise.
Absolutely.
You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about booking the cruise. So, when you are booking your cruise, the best way to save the most money on that cruise is what, Ray?
Book it early.
Book it early. Book it as far out as you possibly can. Some cruise lines will let you book up to 2 years in advance.
2 years.
If you can't get 2 years, 18 months is a good sweet spot too. Book it out as far as you can. Tried and true, y'all. We have booked a bunch of cruises for ourselves and a bunch of cruises for other people. These promotions that come out that say, kids sail free and, all these other things that the cruise lines are pushing as deals, even like Black Friday deals and stuff like that. A lot of times they are just prices that have been hiked up considerably and then dropped down a little bit so that they can call it a deal and sell it to you.
And you say, oh, look at that.
Yes, there's not been one time that we booked the cruise 18 months to 2 years out that we've repriced and come up with something cheaper. It has always been the best rate that we could have possibly gotten.
Absolutely.
So, another tip, monitor and reprice your cruise bookings periodically.
Just did that.
Yes. So even if, just like we just said, we reprice ours and because we booked them so far out and got those best deals, we haven't had a situation where we were able to drop it back down. But we've had some clients who've come across some cheaper trips, right?
Yeah. So I redid one for a client. It was him, his wife, and his mom. And they, they both we were able to save, I think, like $50 off the original price. And even though their trip is in the soon coming time, we still save $50. $50 is better than no dollars. So.
$50 is better than no dollars. Also, when you're booking your cruise and you're looking at the cabin types, be flexible with the kind of cabin type.
Yeah.
Right. Are you going to be flexible with your cabin type?
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I am trying to grow into that because if you all know Team Reese Travels and you know moi, I love balconies. Love them. Love balconies to the fullest. But there have been some cruise ships that I really, really want to get on or get back on. And I've considered lowering my standards. No, I swear.
Consider lowering those standards, guys. Listen, you can save a good amount of money by going to an inside cabin, interior rooms. Even an ocean view will save you some money from trying to book a veranda, a balcony or veranda room. But if you're like Ray and you have a hard time getting away from those balcony rooms, I have a tip for you too. If you just gotta have that balcony, look into an obstructed view balcony cabin because a lot of times you can still save some money. It's not gonna be as inexpensive as going to an interior or an ocean view, but you can save some money on that balcony cabin type by booking one that has an obstructed view. And a lot of times those obstructed views are not terrible. I can sit there and pretend like that lifeboat ain't there if it's gonna save me a couple $100 on the room. I'm okay with that.
We did that and it worked out well.
Yeah. Now you've booked your cruise. The next step, if you are like us and you gotta fly in, you gotta book some flights, right?
How you gonna get there?
So some tips on saving on flights for your cruise. Look at booking for Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays tend to be the least expensive days for actually booking the cruise or booking the flight, as well as they are cheaper days to fly as well. A lot of people say Thursday is a little bit of a cheaper day to fly too. Yeah. Saturdays and Sundays, big money. A lot of times Mondays can be big money too because a lot of corporate travel takes place on Mondays. Yeah. So
I noticed even, and this is if you can do this, but I've noticed even with that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, if you get up at 12 o'clock, you look at that 12 o'clock time frame, 12 a.m., you can start right there. They may be sometimes even cheaper then. So just check it out. Take a chance.
Also, look at booking your flight in a window that is incognito. Like if you're using your phone or your computer, you set it to incognito. A lot of times, these phones and computers, they track cookies and all of that stuff. They know you're looking for that flight on that day at that time and that price. Then they know you want it, so the price is gonna keep going up.
Use a VPN also.
So those are some tips for saving money on your actual flights. Also, think about what time of day you want to fly. We a lot of times will fly in at night and fly out at night because those flights are cheaper for us from our local airport. And you consider that when you're booking your cruise too, because if you're going to be flying in at night, you definitely got to be there the day before, or maybe even 2 days before, but at least minimum the day before your cruise. So think about that when you're booking your flights as well.
Absolutely.
Also, the sweet spot for booking a flight is about 2 months out from when you actually need to take that flight when it comes to cost.
Keep an eye on it, keep a monitor on it. If you see somebody that says a sale coming up, look on it real quick, because sometimes it's a sale and sometimes it's not. So check that out.
Also, think about alternative airports. We cruise out of Miami and Fort Lauderdale quite a bit. And just because we're cruising out of Miami does not mean we're flying into Miami. We might fly into Fort Lauderdale. We've even considered flying into Orlando before and taking Brightline over to Miami because of how much of a savings it can be. You just really got to play around with the numbers. When you're trying to get deals and discounts and cruise for a cheaper rate, you got to do your homework. You got to really pay attention to what cost you are going to be incurring.
Absolutely.
So though you got your late night advantages, your late night flight advantages, alternative airport options, even flying out of alternative. We like our airport. We like Midway Airport in Chicago. But sometimes it might be cheaper for us to drive down to Indianapolis and fly to Indianapolis, or drive over to O'Hare to fly to O'Hare. Think about your airport. Think about what alternatives are out there.
I've even been thinking about South Bend. They have very limited flights, but I've been told, I've talked to some people, I've even considered South Bend. So.
Yes. Now, you got your cruise booked, you got your flights booked. Now you need a hotel.
Where are you going to sleep at?
Where are you going to sleep at? If you are like us and are not fortunate enough to live in the area that you're cruising from, you're going to need a hotel for the night before. So what we do for hotels, we just search. Our biggest thing that has saved us money is points. Every hotel brand we ever stay at, we are signing up for whatever kind of points perks program they have. Hilton Honors, Hyatt, what's the other one? All of the different hotel brands have their own different type of points system that you can sign up for, and we're signed up for them all. You will get the most bang for your buck if you stick with the same line of hotels, the same chain, because you're going to continue to accumulate points that can build up and be used. So we try to stick with Hilton when we can, but we'll go Marriott sometimes.
This is one thing I've learned. I did a couple times over the last couple months is with one brand that we stay with, they have the opportunity where you can get double points if you're willing to pay maybe $10 or $15 or $25 more. And I was like, well, let's do it. And it has definitely paid out, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
Another hotel strategy we use, look at the type of rate that you're booking for your hotel. They'll have different rates. Sometimes there's a AAA rate that'll save you some money. Different kinds of coupon perks programs that you might be a part of. Think about what credit card you use. Are you able to get some kind of perk from using a certain type of credit card to book your hotel? All of that stuff can sometimes save you some money or build you some points that can go toward a future hotel stay for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Now, this next one kind of goes into the hotel one, but it's kind of its own too. Transportation, because now that you got a hotel, you need transportation to it from the airport. You need transportation to it from the cruise port. When you're looking at your hotels, a lot of times you'll find hotels in cruise port areas that will include free transportation to and from the airport, free transportation to and from the cruise port. You just got to look for, or it might not even be free. It might be a reduced price, but look into that. Sometimes that will save you a little bit of money over doing a Lyft or an Uber. Again, you got to do your homework. You got to do some investigating to find that cheapest rate for you. Now, we're going to talk about excursions and onboard savings as well. But before we do that, quick pause for the cause. Let us invite you to subscribe to the channel. If you are watching and you like what you see and you're enjoying the tips, go ahead and click that little subscribe button. Become a part of the Team Reese family. and hit the like button and drop us a comment below. Let us know what you think. Also, if you are interested in getting exclusive content, behind the scenes, extra tips like these, and if you're interested in just being a part of the Team Reese member squad, you can go ahead and click that join button and become a member of the channel. Shout out to all of our amazing channel members that we have right now. We appreciate you.
We love y'all.
And one more plug. We are actually travel advisors. So if you need help booking and these tips are too much and you just want somebody else to do the work for you,
we'll do it.
That's what we're here for, y'all. Email us at booking@teamreachetravels.com and we'll be sure to get going on helping you craft the perfect vacation for you and your kids.
Absolutely.
Now let's get back to the tips.
Let's go.
All right. Number 5, we're talking about excursion savings now. So there's a few different ways that you can save on excursions, y'all. First of all, let's talk about booking the excursion. When we talked about the Black Friday deals and how those can sometimes be a little bit of a gimmick when it comes to booking cruises, what we found is a lot of times they are actual deals when it comes to booking excursions. Yeah. So around the holidays, Black Friday, Memorial Day, Labor Day, the different holiday seasons, a lot of times cruise lines will put their cruise excursions on sale. Excursions, onboard activities, all those.
Especially specialty dining. Oh my goodness.
Specialty dining. You can find some good deals. You just have to, again, kind of watch it, keep an eye on it, and make sure you're actually getting a deal and they're not just hiking up the price and dropping it a little bit and calling it a deal.
Right.
Another way to save is think about private excursions versus cruise line excursions. This is something, we'll be honest, we just got into doing this maybe in the last year or two.
Yeah.
We normally would only book cruise excursions through the cruise line because we were so afraid of getting left behind.
I never want to be a pier runner.
Never want to be a pier runner. Ever. First of all, I can't run. Second of all, I'm going to fall. I can tell you I'm going to fall. And everybody's going to be laughing at me already because I'm a pier runner. Now y'all going to be laughing because I failed. And I'm getting left behind. I don't like none of it. But if you can very easily take some cruise excursions that are not booked through the cruise line. Some of the companies that we have used are Resort for a Day, where you can use that to get, a resort day pass, where you get, all-inclusive food, drinks, activities, all those things built into one cost. That can save you a little bit of money over using over going through the cruise line. Also, her Sure Excursions group is a good one. We haven't had the opportunity to use them yet, but we've heard really good things about them.
Yeah.
Also, just, winging it yourself. My last cruise, we actually took a city bus around the city. I would not recommend it if it's you alone with your child, but if you got a good group with you, then I think that's a good option for. I felt safe the entire time. It was very cheap. It was like $2.50 each way everywhere we went. So the total of like $7.50 for the 2 spots that we decided to go to. It was a good way to save some money and still enjoy the port. So think about that. Think about just being a little flexible with how you want to spend your port day, and whether or not you're comfortable with stepping outside of cruise line excursions.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that, Ray?
Just be mindful. Be mindful of the time.
Be mindful. Yes. Anytime we do something outside of a cruise line excursion, we try to book it early in the morning.
Yes.
That way we give ourselves plenty of time to get back to the ship. And we just try to pay attention to how far out you have to go for the excursion.
Right.
So, I'm a little more leery if the ride is an hour long versus 15 minutes. So just something to think about.
Yeah, you got to be careful. That's all.
Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about onboard savings. Again, those deals, Black Friday deals, holiday savings deals that some of the cruise lines run, can be a good way to save you some money on your specialty dining, on your internet packages, on activities. Cruise lines have a lot of free activities, actually. So really, you don't have to buy activities that cost money. And when I'm thinking activities that cost money, I'm thinking like bingo, Deal or No Deal. Like those activities cost money. Sometimes like the ones that have roller coasters on, like boat, cost money on Carnival. But a lot of times you can find some deals on that stuff around the holidays. Another way to save some money on board, people talk about drink packages and soda packages and refreshment packages. We very rarely buy those packages. I think every now and then we will buy a soda package. I did say A. Yes, there are 3 of us. I said A. Don't tell nobody. But yeah, you know what I like to do, y'all? I don't drink a whole lot of pop anyway. When I do, and even Ray doesn't drink a whole lot either. We take like the little Crystal Light type shakers on the ship. We always have our own refillable water bottle, whether we have a drink package or not. And so we fill it up with water and we use our little Crystal Light shakers and we drink that through most of the cruise.
Make it happen.
And that way we don't have to spend extra money. If I want a Sprite or something at some point during the cruise, now I'm only buying 1 or 2 every now and then versus having to buy pop every single day or paying for a whole package that gives me pop every day. Go ahead.
Then if you have, then you can spice up your Sprite or your drinks with your mixers.
You can.
If you want lemonade, Sprite with lemonade, you got it, not Jack.
Yeah, and I did notice even like on Carnival, I don't know if other cruise lines are doing this, but on Carnival, our last couple Carnival cruises, they had the machines where you could just pay like so many cents per ounce or something if you just wanted to get, if you just had a taste for pop versus, you know, paying for an entire pop package.
Yeah. And that makes sense, though.
Now, we talked about onboard savings. The last thing to talk about is a return trip. Getting off the ship. Nobody wants to talk about getting off
the ship. Get this out of here.
What are your tips for returning home? You got anything, Ray?
So, one thing you can do, again, know what time you're getting off. When you know what time you get off, you take your own bags off, express checkout or things like that, whatever it may be called. You know that, and so then you're either able to get one of those vans that come up that has a whole lot of people in it, or you can call your own Uber or Lyft or whatever particular service is, or taxi cab, and that way you can get on and get to the airport. If you know you're getting off later, you have a little leeway time, and still, you at that point you're still gonna have to take a Lyft or Uber, but it may be a little bit more crowded. It may be a little bit more. It may cost you more because now it's peak time. So those are the tips I have.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about the flights. A lot of times those later nighttime flights are cheaper. We have done that. We've done late night flights coming off a cruise before, and then we'll use like a day use room. You can use day use hotel. And it's just, you pay a flat rate just for the use of a hotel room for up to like 8 hours or something. And you have to kind of play around with it to see if it's worth the cost, because you still got to pay for that day use room. So are you paying for the day use room and that cost is taking up all the money you save from booking the late night flight? At that point, it's not worth it. So, but yeah, it's something to look into. And we've also had some early morning. I have booked some early morning flights before with me and RJ having to get off the ship, doing that express walk off and having to book it straight to the airport to get home, which was worth it to me because I saved money on the flight. But you just got to decide, do you want to have the stress of having to get off the ship as early as possible and hope to make it to your flight on time? Right. I'm about saving money, so it was worth it to me.
Also, with the day use rooms, check the reviews.
Yeah, definitely.
Please check the reviews because,
All right, so that about covers all of our tips, or I won't say all of them, but our biggest tips for saving money when traveling and cruising with kids. Let us know what you think. Did we say a tip that you use? Drop us a note down below and let us know. Or did we miss something that you think is a huge tip that needs to be shared with the world? Drop that tip below too, because we'll pin it, because we're looking for all the tips around here.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Yes. And don't forget to let us know if you need help booking your next cruise. Yeah. Email us at booking@teamreesetravels.com. And we'll be sure to help you out. But until the next video,
Team Reese all day. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
See you.